Tweet-a-Beer, considered one of the most successful social media campaigns of 2012. What is Tweet-a-Beer? Tweet-a-Beer is an online networking app that allows people to buy a beer for someone else via Twitter. You're not really sending beer, you're actually sending $5, so it can be used for anything. But as they state on their website, seriously, we recommend using it for beer because it's beer. The founders and creators are 10-4 Agency and Wagner Edstrom, as they call themselves longtime drinking buddies in Portland, and they use the help of Chirpify. So basically how Tweet-a-Beer works is that it connects your Twitter and PayPal account. This is where Chirpify comes into play. In order to use the app, you must make an account with Chirpify, then Chirpify has created the software to sync both your Twitter and PayPal accounts. So essentially, you send the $5 to another Twitter user, and then ultimately their PayPal account. There are 4 basic steps to sending and receiving a beer. Step 1, you choose your Twitter recipient and send the $5. You can also add a reason such as, much like beer, you've always been there for me. You can also add a location where the beer should be enjoyed. Step 2 is that you receive a confirmation that your beer was sent, and you're given the option to buy another round, either for that person or someone else. Step 3 is the Twitter recipient receives a notification that he or she has been sent a beer and that they should claim their beer money. Step 4 is that a confirmation of the beer money was received, and the recipient can add a thank you message or buy another round of beer for someone else as well. For this project, I interviewed Daniel T. Wood, who is the digital strategy / creative director for 10-4 Agency and the creator of Tweet-a-Beer. Ten4 was approached by Wagner Edstrom to help create an app for the Austin 2012 South by Southwest Conference. The South by Southwest Conference is a convergence of music, independent films, and emerging technologies. They wanted to create an app that would generate buzz and awareness of 10-4's mobile capabilities. It was important that the app to be topical and memorable at this conference. 10-4 had only 6 weeks to create the app. Normally they have about 12 to 15 weeks. Daniel thought this would be impossible, but on his way home from this exact meeting, the idea of Tweet-a-Beer suddenly came to him. Here are some of Daniel's initial sketches of Tweet-a-Beer. Tweet-a-Beer ended up being the perfect idea because it had to use Twitter and send a public tweet every time the app was used. So it had a built-in social media aspect, and people can show their public display affection for others. The target audience originally was all South by Southwest interactive music and film attendees, but the app became so successful it spread worldwide. One of the ways they were able to engage the audience was they hired a copywriter to pre-populate tweets about the app that were very funny. The whole tone of the campaign was very comical, as their frequently asked questions and terms and conditions were made to be jokes. For example, on their "Who are you anyway?" they wrote, "We're 10-4 and Wagner Edstrom. We're sitting in the darkened corner of the bar, behind you." They also would tweet a beer to celebrities with large Twitter followers, such as Alyssa Milano, so as to attract more people on Twitter. As for evangelists or superfans, Portland has a very vigilant startup community that was keen on making Tweet-a-Beer a success. It also helped that Portland is a very beer-friendly community. Their business development guy also tweeted a beer every hour when it first came out. Soon, they had copycats begin to pop up, such as Tweet-a-Flower. And Daniel said that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and so they were very excited by these copycats. After 3 weeks since the app was introduced, Tweet-a-Beer had 96 unique stories, 10,600 Twitter mentions, 12.5 million social reach, and 500 million news reach. It was the #1 trending story on the social networks Mashable, Facebook, and LinkedIn. News stations were doing segments on the social media app, and they had major coverage on CNN.com. Thousands of beers were being sold worldwide, and during the launch, there were 10 beers being sold every minute. This also resulted in new Fortune 500 clients such as Coca-Cola and Google. Some ways they measured their success was their Twitter reach. It showed how many people were tweeting about Tweeted Beer. These are some examples. Because it reached such a worldwide level that some of the tweets were even in other languages. The others were by the amount of beer sold, how many people turned to paying customers, and the amount of news coverage they received. Tweeted Beer was a very successful campaign, but Daniel said that there were definitely struggles and compromises made because companies were wary about associating themselves with an alcoholic beverage. But in the end, Tweeted Beer received numerous awards, including 2012 the Bees International Social Media Marketing Award winner, where they received Best Use of App for Social Media Marketing. Also, the 2012 Social Media Awards, where they received Social Media Agency of the Year.